I think it's important to feel that one has made a difference. I've been a local councillor, I've been an MP, I've been Chief Executive of the Refugee Council, and I've been a member of the Lords and a Minister in Northern Ireland. But all of this almost didn't happen.
Without these fortifications, Czechoslovakia was disarmed, a ripe plum ready to fall into Hitler's lap.
My father left as soon as the Germans came into Prague within a day. I was at school, 6 years old. We had to tear a picture of the Czech president out of our school books and stick in a picture of Hitler. And that was quite traumatic. Somehow it brought it all home to me that there were big changes. But I wasn't aware of the full significance of it, because we were only beginning to hear what was happening to Jews in Austria and indeed in Germany, but particularly in Austria. I owe my life to Nicholas Winton, who organised the Kindertransport from Prague. And I think if I hadn't been lucky enough to be on a Kindertransport, it's unlikely I'd have survived the Holocaust. I remember my mother took me to the station, anxious parents, German soldiers with swastikas in the background, parents saying goodbye, some of them not knowing whether they'd see their children again, and off the train went. All day across Germany, we got to the Dutch border, and the older ones cheered because we were out of reach of the Nazis. I didn't understand what it meant. It seemed significant, but I didn't know that. I didn't know quite why. Britain was one of the few countries that, if not the only country, that accepted Kindertransport children. The rest of Europe didn't want to know. The Americans said it was additional to quota. So we really depended upon Britain. It saved 10,000 lives, pretty certainly. When I got to London, and I had a knapsack with into which my mum had put some sausages, Czech sausages and things, and my father said, "But you've eaten nothing the whole journey." So I wasn't aware I'd eaten nothing. It's just what happened. I suppose I was a bit traumatized by everything that went on. And then, of course, my mother arrived, and my father died soon afterwards. He had a heart attack. I think it had all been too much for him. And so my mother was really stuck with, in a foreign country, with no money, no pension, no income, having to look after a 6-year-old. I found that not having a place I could identify as home rather upset me. Ever since we left Prague, I had nowhere really that seemed home. Everything was impermanent. I was passionately interested in politics. I think even from an age when children weren't normally interested in politics, because I was trying to understand what had happened to me and why. I thought to myself, well, I went to London School of Economics, I can't actually go into Parliament. I'm a foreigner, or I was a foreigner, but I did meet an MP who said, "Oh, yes, have a go." I became a local councillor, and eventually I did become an MP. The first time in the Commons, when I was called to ask the Prime Minister a question, I was so amazed that I'm there, I nearly forgot my supplementary question, because I thought, can this be me asking the Prime Minister of Britain a question in the House of Commons with where I've come from? So I was quite overwhelmed with these things, and well, I learned to cope. Britain took 10,000 unaccompanied children on Kindertransport from Germany, Austria and Czechoslovakia in 1938-39. Some of us believe that if Britain could do it then, we could be more welcoming to unaccompanied child refugees today. My story, I hope, shows that it is possible to make a difference. My name is Alf Dabbs. I'm a Labour member of the House of Lords, and in 1939, Britain saved my life, for which I shall always be grateful.